Hello guys, we have a new updated box office video. Here are surprising numbers for The Wild Robot. The movie is actually quite overperforming at the box office. The Wild Robot takes off with 35 million box office opening here. DreamWorks' latest film shows promise and fears while Transformers 1 and Megalopolis continue to struggle. Which is pretty weird because we talked about yesterday how The Wild Robot wasn't doing too well. But they have the we have the Saturday sales in. And the movie is actually doing very, very well. Yeah. The original projections were around 20 million, which because it was a non-franchise movie, the pre-sales were working pretty poorly for this movie as well. But Transformers 1, as we saw, if you saw my short about that movie, you could see that movie wasn't doing pretty well. Transformers 1 only had a 63% drop from its $25 million opening to its $9 million fame. It puts the movie in third place behind the fourth weekend of Beetlejuice 2 at $16 million as well. So Transformers 1 isn't doing very well, which is pretty sad. But again, I think that first trailer impressed because a lot of people were turned off by that first trailer as well. And also, it doesn't help that Transformers is a franchise ruined by the Michael Bay franchise. I know those movies made $1 billion. I know they had like 2 or 3 movies of that franchise made $1 billion, but FUT quickly set in at the 5th movie as reception by fans and critics were not very good with that series, and ever since then Transformers has never been able to recapture the success of the Michael Bay films. Okay, despite all of the recent movies being massively critically acclaimed and acclaimed by the fan base, it seems that most of the people who like these movies are mostly core fans, and most people, but the general audience is not interested in it. Okay, but Megalopolis, no one's watching that movie. Who would have expected that? It's being outperformed by an Indian movie, which is pretty funny. But yeah, Megalopolis is a massive, massive failure at the box office. Despite this, The Wild Robot is making a decent chunk of money, and unlike Transformers, this movie is doing pretty well at the box office. So, yeah. So the movie is estimating to 45 million opening with its widespread critical acclaim, which means Inside Out 2, when it comes to winning Best Animated Feature, does have some competition with this movie, as this movie might gain a massive cult following over the year, like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish did. I don't think Puss in Boots: The Last Wish won Best Animated Feature. I think it lost to like another movie, but the movie is gonna probably gain a cult following, very similar to Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, because this movie is very similar to like the Iron Giant, where it's about a robot like in the wilderness and stuff. It's actually good, it helps nature, it's peace, blah blah blah. But yeah, The Wild Robot, seems to be a pretty good movie as well. It seems that the only real character in this movie, I think, is the robot itself. I don't think the robot has a gender. I don't think robots have genders. Maybe Transformers they do, but I think the robot's like the only speaking character in the movie, while all the other characters are animals. Again, that's what I've seen based off the trailers. I know the robot speaks, but not the animals. It's just the animals. Yeah, but yeah. Again, DreamWorks has finally taken a win this year. DreamWorks, last year they did pretty poorly. Okay, but it seems that DreamWorks, DreamWorks has always been like this. They've been hitting years. They have good years and bad years, but it seems that Disney still this year has beaten DreamWorks and Universal in terms of animated hits, as Inside Out 2 is still made at $1 billion. But I think it's going to be pretty close with The Wild Robot being pretty successful. But then you also have Moana 2, which is going to be, which could probably put Disney over the finish line, most likely as well. So that's what this video here, and goodbye.